Hey folks, welcome to the first annual 24 Hours of Booty. It's 8 o'clock on Saturday morning, November 2nd, 2002, and we're getting ready to fire off the first annual event here. So it's about 35 degrees, and we've had some technical difficulties this morning with getting the motorhome here, but we're up and running. We got the tent set up, we've got the Starbucks ready. We're getting ready to roll out, and we'll see you tomorrow, if not before.
And they're off.
Challenges are what make life interesting, but it's overcoming them that give life its meaning. But here's the thing, no one fights alone. When we show up for each other, we create ripples. One act of love turns into a movement. 1 mile becomes a message. One night becomes a legacy. Because impacting your community isn't just about grand gestures. It's in the small, steady ways we lift each other up. Legacy isn't just what we leave behind. It's what we build together, moment by moment, mile by mile. Not carved in stone, but etched into lives, into hope, and into our story.
Hey.
One down, one down.
One down, all right. Woo. One lap. Let's see here. They probably got about 23 hours and 45 minutes to go.
The early days were kind of hilarious with the name 24 Hours of Booty, but it really caught people's attention.
It is a 24-hour party for the cancer community.
It's the greatest fundraising bike ride ever.
Booty supports men, women, children, all types of cancer.
It's a really healing, cathartic, and an amazing community that just kind of came out of the woodwork.
Not only community, but a great big reunion. Every year I see people that I've seen for the last 10, 15 years.
Thought it was a cycling event, but it's kind of a cycling event disguised in a community gathering of people that hate cancer.
It has become basically hope and healing for 24 hours, and I didn't know that was going to happen. And so once that was revealed to me, I'm like, okay, we have to figure out how to make this happen for real and make it a thing for people.
Working it out, man. Working it out.
This is it.
I'll go.
This is the action, guys, right here.
When we moved here, Spencer was studying, and he would go study for the bar at the Dowd Y, and he just happened to have a conversation. He's like, where do people ride around here? And they said the Booty Loop, and he was like, what? So of course he starts riding it, and then comes home one day and was like, I've got this idea.
I remember thinking when I was riding the Booty Loop that day in 2002, and I was like, gosh, wouldn't it be wild to see what would happen if I could ride this for 24 hours and call it 24 Hours of Booty? And I didn't know if I could make it. I'd never trained like that. I didn't know how to do an event like this. But I had that mindset of like, be curious and just see what happens. So that was sort of like the genesis moment. So the idea was to ride all day and all night, and I had a couple buddies who were gonna meet me in the 2 in the morning to make sure I could finish. So I was expecting, I'm gonna show up Tour de France style, and there's gonna be all these people there and they're gonna send me off, whatever.
And he's jacked. I gotta get out there. I gotta go. The masses are gonna be waiting for me at the start line. I've told so many people about it.
There's literally nobody there. There's 0 people there. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get on my bike now. And I got on and just started riding. The crowd is being held back by the police right now. You can't see them, but there's hundreds of people out here waiting for me to go. And we're gonna go ahead and get started. I had this expectation it was going to be a big fanfare, and it was literally the most grassroots, unorganized. We had a pop-up tent, we had a shoebox for donations and a couple signs up, and just people were walking by on the booty loop, and there was no road closure, there was no cones out, there was no anything. I actually had to borrow a bike. I didn't have a bike at the time.
Nathan! Hey, Nathan!
We were going to a concert at Queen's University, my husband and I, and we were crossing the street, and there was just, you know, one or two bikes coming by, and it wasn't, you know, real crowded. There was not that many cyclists on the course. It just looked kind of like the usual booty loop on a weekend almost.
Back then, we were all volunteers, and we did everything. We did reaching out to get food supplied, stages, lighting, generate, you name it. Everybody had a part and parcel of their responsibilities.
Bootyville was tiny, right? I think we maybe just had like the baseball diamond. There was nothing. Bootyville was one shack.
It was just more bare bones at that time, but still a lot of fun and a lot of people passionate about raising money for cancer.
The very first memories were some curiosity, you know, amongst the neighbors, right? Like, who's this crazy guy? And if you meet Spencer, he's not crazy, but he's just got his own particular charm. And, you know, obviously back then he was like 30 years old, you know, a young attorney, and like riding his bike to raise money for cancer. But then it didn't take long for it to catch on, and then it became much more than a curiosity. It became something that people embraced and wanted to participate in.
How are your hands? Are they cold?
Okay, Spence.
So when we started the first public one, this was pre-Facebook and mostly internet, but went up to a bike ride up in Davidson early, like in February or something, and literally walked around with a legal pad with one of our kids on a backpack and just said, hey, you know, we're putting on this event, do you want to do it? Put your email address down. That's how it started. And we had basically 100 people show up for that first one. That growth, it was very surprising, but then you get excited about that and see what you can do with it and how much good you can do in the community.
A little boy came up to Spencer and gave him $1 and said his father had just passed away from cancer and he wanted to donate. And he was standing next to his neighbor, and his neighbor went in the house and wrote Spencer a check for $5,000. And when Spencer told that story, I was hooked right then.
So 24 Hours of Booty really started out really catering to that serious cycling community, and it has evolved throughout the years as I think the event has grown and changed and morphed into what it is today, where we are really inclusive and for everybody. You do not have to be a serious cyclist to ride in Booty. Heck, you don't even have to ride a bike. You can walk, you can run, you can ruck. We have people who put those weighted backpacks on and are going around the loop on the sidewalk 24 hours. And we really want everybody to come out, participate in some way, get active, and just be there and be part of our story.
From the perspective of packet pickup, things have changed a lot. We would take over a very long hallway and we had hundreds of boxes, and we would stuff all of the packets, and then it was always a struggle when people hit new milestones, and people were hitting milestones right up until the moment, and so we were constantly going back and adding things to packets, and it was chaotic to say the least. And we've got it all set up now so that people check in one place and then you get your packet in somewhere else, and that's new. And so there've been lots of little changes. There's just so much passion about doing good, so I feel like that hasn't changed.
Back in 2003, I had 2 children, and probably both in diapers. And now all 3 of my children are out of the house, right? So they grew up with this event every year, coming, getting pulled in a bike trailer, and then, you know, getting on their bikes and actually doing the event, riding in the kids' stuff. And then I've seen all the people who are involved with Booty watching their families grow up. It's like this reunion, right? And it's so cool to see what once were little kids, now full-grown adults, and they're out there and they're doing their thing and they're riding because they want to ride and they're raising money, and it became a family tradition. It's something that's brought my family together, and it's brought my family together with, you know, so many other folks in Charlotte, so that we have this built-in 24 Hours of Booty friend group that will never go away.
At the very beginning, I never dreamed that it would grow to be what it is today. But when I think back to the early years, when the course was kind of empty still and we were just bringing in bags of breakfast biscuits as they were needed, to what we have today with the giant food tent and all kind of infrastructure around the event, the soul and the heart of 24 Hours of Booty was there from the very beginning. The ability to ride or stand on the course in the middle of the night and see those lights going around, that's very meaningful to me to still see that happening every year, because it means people care and they're out there for a reason.
I think the biggest impact, maybe the last few years, and really it caught wind a little bit after COVID again, was the size of the parties that take place on Friday night around the Booty Loop. I mean, I think really the last probably 2 or 3 years, you've seen that grow into an event at people's houses. They're getting them catered, there's bands playing, they're doing all these things, and you see these parties, and so it feels more and more like community than it's ever felt before, which is incredible to say that it's been going on as long as it has.
To me, growth is bringing more people into our community, and that could be from different events. So, you know, we have this paddleboard event, we have this bourbon tasting event, we've got this rowing event. We're growing our community in different ways. So we have this really dedicated group of folks, and there's always new people coming into 24 Hours of Booty event. But now we're attracting people who don't ride or don't walk or do want an event like that. They want to paddleboard or some other things. So people get touched by cancer all the time, and they'll find us. But I love to reach out to people as they're coming into the community and learn about what we do and how we do it. Yeah, to me, it's exciting. There's like a lot of people that we could touch that we haven't yet.
So 24 Hours of Booty has also been a part of a community that has had to expand its wings, so to speak. And one of the things that was needed in this community was a medical system that looked not just at the physical body, but the mental, the emotional, and the spiritual needs of each cancer survivor. And Atrium, through Levine Cancer Institute, has been an integral player in providing a very unique and powerful resource to cancer survivors, both those in treatments and those that go beyond.
Yeah, so there's a term, there's a scientific term, symbiosis, where things grow together and they complement one another. I think Booty was able to grow because the cancer program was successful, and I think the cancer program was successful in significant part due to the profiling that happens through Booty.
They have helped us fund staff that are available to the patients. They have helped us build programs that would not exist if it wasn't for that funding. Every dollar raised at Booty goes to help a specific patient or a family member as they go through their journey with cancer.
We were amongst the very first in the country to have the Cancer Navigator program. And so even before the American College of Surgeons, the Cancer Commission on Cancer made a statement, a bold statement, that everyone should have a navigator in cancer. And we were ahead of that by 5 years. I think that's one of the very best examples of what has happened, with the money that's been raised.
It's helped strengthen our community. It helps people proud of that they live in Charlotte, that proud that they have this amazing resource available to their patients. And then they know that they've helped create a cancer program that's doing the most innovative cancer care in their backyard, and they don't have to ever leave the city to get the best care available.
Our beneficiaries are critical to what we do. You know, I'm a big believer of, you know, we're all working towards the same goal, and so why not partner with each other and lift each other up as a group, because I feel like together we are more impactful than just standing alone.
I know several of the beneficiaries of 24 Hours of Booty that provide support group opportunities, both in person and virtual, to cancer survivors at no cost. They can focus on healing, they can focus on their families and their loved ones, and they don't have to be burdened with the financial impact that comes with cancer.
So I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma Labor Day weekend of 2012. So I'm in my senior year of college, just starting, and I get a call a couple weeks after I get out of the hospital saying, like, Lauren, someone has just offered to cover your tuition for this year because of your cancer diagnosis. And I'm like, what? Who is this? And so I was introduced to Spencer and Susan Luders, who are the founders of 24 Hours of Booty. And they just talked about how their scholarship they started at Queens is to help people affected by cancer. They heard my story and took over my tuition so I could continue going to classes while going through treatment. You're starting out on that road and you just, like, you can't even see past bikers. And all of those people are writing and raising money for programs that I was able to benefit from during my treatment. And so you're just completely overwhelmed, and immediately I'm like, oh my gosh, like next year I have to ride. There's just no, like, I have to be involved. And the following year in 2014, I rode by myself. And I like had to borrow someone's bike. I don't even have my own bike. So some friend of mine let me borrow their bike and I'm riding, and every year it's just been a little more involved. And now it's something that we have to do every year. It's a non-negotiable. And just because you're done with treatment doesn't mean that you're done with any of those survivorship opportunities that 24 Foundation has. And so that's where I got into Wind River Wellness Retreats, which was a beneficiary of 24 for a very long time. So I went on a retreat program up there. It's up in Tryon, North Carolina, like outside of the mountains, beautiful waterfalls, and you do like a 3-day retreat. About a year and a half maybe after my retreat, they're doing a fundraising concert, and I meet this really cute guy named Rob, and I come to find out that he is also a cancer survivor and was on a retreat at Wind River, but like a month after I had went. So we had just missed each other. So we were kind of pulled together that night, and we had our first date maybe a week later, and then we never left each other. So when we were first dating, we were both in remission, having a good time, and then 3 months after dating is when Rob received his second diagnosis. I get a text message from Rob. I'm in the middle of a practice, and Rob had just celebrated like a big scan milestone of like everything is clear, like 3 weeks before this night. And I get a call or a text saying like, hey Lauren, I just want to let you know I'm on my way to the ER. I can't feel my legs. And I just ran. I think I like ran out and told my boss like, okay, I have to, like there's an emergency, I have to go. And we were in the ER and immediately they had said that there was tumor growth and he was gonna need emergency surgery. So here I am in the hospital with this man that I've only known 3 months and getting emergency surgery, and you're just like running on adrenaline, right? Like he's on adrenaline, like everything is just happening so fast. He had a successful surgery, but he was had to be in the hospital for about 40 days. And so I did not leave. I went and did my job and went to work and taught school during the day, but I would come back and be with him at night and stay with him because he needed an advocate. And I mean, that's kind of when you know, like, that's your person. Like, if you're not questioning like what's happening. Like that's just who you're supposed to be with. And so Rob battled for probably a year, and we got some clean scans, and then Rob proposed. And we both felt really good with him being healthy, and at that point we already knew we wanted to be with each other for the rest of our lives. We knew we wanted to start a family, but we were both really nervous about our chances of fertility with all of the chemotherapy both of us have received, especially Rob. He had really gone through so much at that point. So we meet with a fertility specialist that tells us that we have a 2% chance of getting pregnant on our own. But go ahead, try, and then if we need to, we can talk about other options. And then our son, we got pregnant with our son, which is such a miracle. We always wanted a child, and we just didn't want to get our hopes up. We get pregnant with James, the pregnancy's going great, Rob's feeling good, but then Rob started having some pain about a couple months before James was born. There was one more drug that we could try. Like, we can give this a try, it may work, and oral chemotherapy, so Rob wouldn't have to be going to and from appointments. It's something that we could have at home. And I just noticed that Rob was like in bed all the time once we started that, which was not quality of life, and I just really started to get worried. So our son turned 4 on Halloween of 2023, and Rob was admitted under hospice care the next day. Things just started increasingly getting more weak, and was trying to hold out, and lots of people were in and out visiting. Rob was so popular, I think my neighbors thought we were just like throwing parties. I mean, Rob had, I'm not exaggerating, there probably had to have been 100 people that came to visit that week. So Rob was on hospice a week, and he passed on November 8th, 2023. But his the last few days were, I don't want to say peaceful because they were really hard, but just seeing all the people that showed up for Rob just was a real testament to who he was and the friend that he was to other people. Cancer doesn't always have to be scary, and while we've lost Rob, and that's really traumatic, and I'm very sad for me and for James to grow up without him, there's so much good that can be done in the cancer community. So really knowing that when we're doing 24, we're making an impact, and we're helping people that are sick like mommy and daddy were at one point, but we're helping make their days even better. We could put a smile on their face or make something a little easier for them. The 24 Foundation was so prominent in my cancer diagnosis and my healing through my cancer journey, but then also brought me my husband and my son. So my family wouldn't exist without all of the work that 24 Foundation does. So they brought together a family, and it's my everything. So it's just incredible to know something that you just, when I was in college, didn't even know what the impact of what 24 Hours of Booty was doing, for it to completely transform my entire adult life and bring my husband and my son into my life is pretty incredible. For Rob, I think is the same things that I want everyone to remember is I want James to know that his daddy was so hardworking and funny and charismatic and tried new things, because Rob was very active before any cancer diagnosis. But I remember the first booty I asked him to be a part of, and he's like, I don't know, I mean, the same that I felt, right? Like, you think that it's all these just intense bikers, and then, but I knew once I got Rob on the loop, he was gonna be hooked, and he was. So I think just, I want James to remember that Rob was always willing to try new things and help other people and be kind to everybody. So, and I really think that lives on, and I talk about Rob all the time. Our friends at 24, when they see James, talk about Rob, our family, he's in everyday discussion, so I know that his legacy is going to live on.
'24 is so special because of the community and the camaraderie. There's such a positive atmosphere. Everybody is there for a good reason. I really can't imagine not participating.
It's impossible not to love somebody once you know their story. And that is something that I truly believe, and I think it applies so well to 24 Hours of Booty and 24 Foundation, because you can walk in and not know anybody, but you talk to somebody and they share their story, and that connection that you've now just made is so special. You're learning parts about somebody and parts of their life that was really hard, and to see the resiliency and the strength and just the courage these people have had to go through to overcome their battles, you know, that's what gets me up and going every day. Like, that is so exciting just to be a tiny, tiny part of.
I've never met anybody that participated in it as a rider that didn't come away enthusiastic about their experience, whether it was one lap or, you know, it's 100 miles or more. I mean, I've never met a single person that didn't walk away and saying this was a wonderful and unique experience. It's just unlike anything else.
So when I think about the impact of Booty, they stay focused on making an immediate impact. How do we go make the life easier of a family or a child that is impacted by cancer? And so I think that's really unique and something that we've latched onto as we kind of think about how we want to raise money and make an impact on the peds side of cancer.
You know, when you lose a child, I think one of the things that exists in your mind is how long till everybody just slowly forgets. Doing something like Booty gives us the opportunity to know that their names are spoken about. They're spoken about like they're there. They're spoken about like they were known to people that never knew them. And I think that selfishly gives us a sense of comfort to know that that part of their legacy is going to be continual.
We have a couple of participants. They'll pick up the in honor of badge, in memory of, and fill it out with names. And sometimes they're amazing and soul-crushing, or we've got a couple of participants who take several of them and fill them up with 20 or 30 names of people that they know, that have passed, that are battling, and it's both heart-wrenching and touching. I think that's what keeps me hooked.
The Booty community for me is one of the ways that every year we try to show up and stay in the fight, right? That's what I think about when I think about that community of people, right? Everybody kind of committed to one cause.
The people who participate in 24 Hours of Booty and do it year after year and raise fabulous sums of money, I hope they know that their legacy is that they made a difference in people's lives that are here today and now and that need it, and that they didn't wait for somebody else to pick up the baton to get the job done.
At the time when Booty started, I didn't have it in my family. Like, it had not touched us personally yet. I didn't want to wait. I thought the stats are bad enough. I want to do something immediately, and that immediate word has been part of our mission statement from the very beginning. But once that happened and the community revealed itself, I wanted just to bring as many people to be aware of that community, and that community just kept growing, so I just kept pouring back into that. So it's really everything. I mean, it's like the legacy of this event and what it's meant to people is only because of the community.
24 hours! Woo!
o'clock, right on the hack. All right, way to go. Woo-hoo!
What I remember coming through on the last lap was, boy, we did it. A couple buddies were with me, my family was there. It was really cold that morning, but I got off the bike and I was like really pumped. I was like, oh man, this is powerful stuff. This is not just about riding a bike for 24 hours. This is a venue and an opportunity to like share cancer stories. We have to do this again. Like this has to happen for real now. That was the thought I had finishing.